Here we are, just booted up. This is an arcade-only build, Retropie for Raspberry Pi 3B Plus and 3B. It's also a great build to put in your Arcade1Up or a bar top or something like this. And it is a Hurst and Wolfanoz collaboration. Wolfanoz has one of the better 32GB arcade builds only, in my opinion. And so they took that really great build, they added a couple more Daphne games, they went ahead and changed the emulators for any games that are kind of slow or just, would run better with a different core. They set that all up, and then Dwayne Hurst, did his magic with the artwork, and that's where we arrived on the image that you're seeing right now. This is the revised version. The first version was not complete, but this is the new running version. Fits on a 32GB SanDisk, no problem. So just go ahead and take a closer look. Alright, so now we're jumping into it from where we were last time. So a lot of collections and things. If you want to get rid of this, it's very easy to do. Just hit Start Game Collection. There's 93 collections, so you can really slim down the Start menu if you really want to. But kind of cool that there's so many different options here. You kind of have the Hyperspin wheel, which is really cool, different. And you can see the actual arcades here on the right. Each are custom made. So while there's over 100 collections here, each one has its own artwork. And that's cool. So when you jump from the 90s to the 80s, you get party cup backgrounds. And then the 70s, there you go. And then back to options. As far as options, you have the Bezel Project. You can turn on and off the background music. It does come pre-installed with background music, easy to turn off, and it does have Easy Hacks Toolkit installed. You also have the theme randomizer installed. You have the video output script and jukebox. So a few different scripts pre-installed. I wanted to see really quick what version of Retropie we're on really quick. Some people want to see what's up with that. And then as far as the download itself, it does come pre-zipped. So it is 4.5.1, a recent build. It does come pre-zipped. When you unzip it though, what you're left with is a 26.6GB file. So that means it's going to fit on 99% of 32GB cards out there. No Samsung versus SanDisk. They're all going to work just fine. It is 28,589,061,000 bytes, if you're wondering, but it should fit on everything. So Daphne, you have 5 games, and then arcade games, you have 2,283. So total, I think it should just be, I think there's and then the Neo Geo. Okay, so 136 plus 5 plus 2283 should get you to 2424. Cool number. One last thing is, do note that this is set up for a 5:4 ratio. That's going to be your Arcade1Up. Otherwise, you'll need to change the theme and change the aspect ratio, which is really cool that they have a script for you over here to do that. It's going to be right here, Raspberry Pi video output. And you can go ahead and change it from, it's 5:4 right now, you can change it to 4:3. But you'll have to change the theme as well. This image really is set up for 5:4. I personally would just start with a different base image if you needed a normal monitor at 4:3. And then you have all your collections below that, which we saw, and it also the years thing was kind of cool to see the evolution. It's cool. So black and white, black and white. Oh, we start getting some color in here. Pretty cool to see let's just jump a few years. Wow. I remember listening to an interview recently, and the question was, this guy was an X-Files fan and a gaming fan. He's like, what's an industry or something that has gotten dramatically better in the last, 5 years or so? And he said gaming. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. Like, look at the graphics that we're at now from here. Like, it is dramatically improved. Not saying that retro games don't look good. I like all the sprites and the bits. But, so 4-player games, I like this, 4-player games. Raspberry Pi can absolutely run 4 controllers simultaneously. So you can absolutely play 4-player games here. And it's a blast. Also, if you have a 4-player arcade out there, anyone, 4-player arcade, they're really cool looking. Like that Simpsons one right here in the picture. All right, so really briefly, let's just go look at the games really quick and the artwork. Let's just look at everything. So Neo Geo, it's the full collection. That's all Neo Geo games. As far as Daphne games, we have Astron Belt, Dragon's Lair 1 and 2, Interstellar, and Space Ace. We have pictures and video snaps. Moving over to arcade, as you see here, we have. I'm surprised that this game runs. It's pretty cool. One-on-one government. You have the video snaps and the metadata and the artwork as well. So it's fully configured. That's really where I see the biggest kind of why is this such a big deal is all the different artwork is all set up for you and everything else like that. But all these MAMEs, which there's so many MAME collections and sets out there on the market. So to have a set that's pre-configured and it has everything, oh, we have one game with no artwork. No. I mean, I'm sure you'll find one or two, but look at, I mean, you could see back in the day when we saw these big arcade sets, they are super incomplete. So it's quite an improvement from what we've had in the past. And while I'm scrolling through these games, I'll also give you my final thoughts at the same time, so we can make the video not super long. But at this rate, it's going to take me a while to scroll through this game list because there's just so many good games. But I love it. Like I said, there was that little hiccup in the beginning with just, from my understanding, is that they tried to do the pie shrink, and some people are having issues with pie shrink. You know, it's not quite working with Retropie. So with all that said, they didn't shrink it this time or found a workaround of some sort. Wolfanoz did, and he got it back out really quick. So really, really speedy turnaround there. And so make sure you get the final version. That first version was running, it had a couple errors coming up. And so now that that's fixed, I don't see anything. I have not yet to find any issues with this. I have one piece of artwork missing, and it's probably because that piece of artwork is just not really hard to find. You know, like this one, it only has the one. Is, you know, it tries its best to grab everything it possibly can. So as far as what's so great about it, it's fully up-to-date Retropie image. It's set up for an Arcade1Up. That was the original purpose of it, so it's set up for that kind of format and application. Huge, fully gone through arcade set, and then just the artwork. Now, I'm not even talking about the artwork we're looking at right now. When I go back to the main screen there, the artwork that you see, it's just all custom. It's all fully done out. So that's really cool. Especially if you like arcades and things like that, the nostalgia, I think people will really get into it. I think some people are going to totally overlook that, overlook all the little custom artwork, but other people are going to really see the detail there and really like it a lot. So if you're looking for an arcade-only build, look no further. I can highly recommend this one. It's only a 32 gigabyte. You can always start with this, put this on a 128 gigabyte SD card, and then throw on some consoles or throw on some other systems that you would like to play. That's totally up to you. So it has a couple different applications. This isn't a do everything image. Doesn't have, you know, every single game on it. But for those reasons, for what it's trying to be, an arcade only, it's custom. It's something we haven't seen before as far as the, you know, the artwork and everything else, the kind of the full package. Custom boot up screen as well. So I'm liking it. I'm digging it. So I'm going to give it an A. And that's what I think. Let me know what y'all think. For the rest of this scroll that I'm doing, I'm just going to go ahead and play some music till we get to the end here. custom loading screens. So it looks like the bezel project is not turned on to boot, to start. So you got to turn those on yourself. Really easy to do with a simple. So select inserts tokens. Start gets you ready. So really easy to do with just. Oh, that's the bomb. You just got to go to from Retropie setup. So it's basically. Raiden. Or maybe Raiden stole it from... Maybe Raiden stole it. I'll just see what year it was made. Beautiful landscapes here. Ooh, did that hit me? Oh, it is Raiden. Even got the Raiden blasters. Oh, you can kill the factories. Man, their whole military is just getting wrecked. This game's actually fairly easy. On Raiden, you really get pinched. And I've yet to get really pinched. It's actually quite easy. Like, the enemies don't take a lot of bullets. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of enemies here. Okay, now I think it's speeding up. Okay. See? Try not to talk smack, because then you get wrecked. Japan. The double Hadouken. Oh. That's so cheap. Dang. That was a good double. Damn, that computer though. This computer is cheap as hell. Getting wrecked left and right over here.
Mission 1.
Trying to get my controls down here. That was a headshot right there. Okay. Extended that play.